me ask you this, Bartelloni, because you just called me crazy. But the truth is, most people listening to this, if they've ever heard you come on to Chart Summit or on the podcast, they're like, this freaking guy again? This guy with the stars and the moons and the...
Dude, I'm done.
Dude, what is it that you're even talking about? Like, what are you talking
Where do you want to start? I'd love to teach you, dude. I'm just trying to set my up. Is that better?
We can start wherever you want to. We can talk about whatever you want. I got wine. I just ate a bunch of mushrooms, so I'm ready to go.
Oh.
No, I didn't eat a bunch of mushrooms, but I did bring the wine.
Well, let me take my hat off. This is much better, isn't it? Because I was like looking, and I'm like, fuck. One of the things that, dude, it's really helped was the edibles, dude. The CBD, THC.
Yeah.
I was in a lot of pain, dude. My knee was like the size of a cantaloupe. Those things, I'd take it about 8 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, I'm like, whoa.
At night or in the morning?
At night. And that's just glorious. Phew. So we'll have to do that one day. But I mean, I'm powering through this right now, dude. Look at this thing. I'm not faking when I'm.
What is that?
Look at that thing.
What is that?
This is Connie's book.
That's Connie's new book?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And I mean,
how many pages is that?
But I'm looking at 1,000 right here.
Jesus.
You got the index, 1,000 pages.
Is it awesome or what?
No. It's intense. Like this one page, I've read 4 times. Geometry and the study of harmonic division.
Do you know her? Do you talk to Connie ever?
I trained with Connie twice.
Oh, got it.
She invited me down a second time, and then the first time I paid for it, and then I sat in her training room in South Carolina for like 5 days. And
when?
She just oh God, this is maybe a decade ago. And we just went at it, and she challenged me on a bunch of stuff, and she knows it. She's brilliant. The lady, this one right here. Sorry, I'm just trying to look. Music can be understood geometrically.
That's what you've been telling me since I met you 15 years ago.
Right, and so this. It was all about math and all about music, the Pythagorean temperament, the equal scale temperament. And what really ended up blowing my mind, did you remember Lady's diagrams? Or no, you probably don't. It's okay. I didn't. I had to go back and teach myself them again.
Okay, what is that?
That's a Lady's diagram, and it's how harmonically, as you're playing music, how all the different notes are connected, right? And what happens is all these connections are also based on, right, the market.
What is that, oil?
That's oil, okay?
I could spot that crash a mile away.
Right? It was on my birthday, dude, by the way.
What, today's your birthday?
No, July 11th. The high in oil was on my birthday. These are the synchronicity stuff. And I showed the exact high on oil on my birthday, and it was all based on this.
The 150 high. The 150 high.
Yeah, I'll show you the chart if you want to see it. I was just
because that rallied into summer 08 after stocks were already on their way down. I remember because commodities kept doing well, and stocks were already getting killed, and then they all got killed. Good times.
So here, I just want to show you this one last thing. And all of a sudden, I'm like, holy shit, boom. I understand the law of vibration. Pentagrams, hold on. And it's just fucking, my God, it takes forever. And so what happens is, here it is. So this right here is the lattice diagram. I'm just trying to, right, of the law of vibration in 5 dimensions.
What does this mean to me? Like, I don't know what that means, Bart.
Of course you don't. Sorry, neither did I. Sorry, I keep looking at that because I'm like, of course, because we don't. So we'll just start, right? And I'll teach you, right? I mean, I'm still trying to figure it out. So, do you believe that everything is everything's vibration?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
Cycles.
Just we're vibration. You're vibration. The computer screen's vibration. Everything's vibration, right? And everything by vibrating comes together, creates form, right?
Okay.
And so that vibration is chaotic, but it's inherently very structured. So in the chaos, very precise patterns are formed based on sacred geometry and music, based on those ratios. Factual, right? And so inherently, when you start looking at the market is by itself highly crazy, right? It's highly chaotic. And it's the masses, it's the energy of the masses, right? And so as we're cruising through time and space, we're actually converting pretty much everything into number, right? The Bible says even every hair on your head is numbered, right? And so as you look at this chart, right, it's the masses vibrational energy, and that vibrational energy will implant itself or implant itself via patterns. Now we've got the head and shoulders, the bears triangles, the whatever the fuck they are, flats, all that stuff, right? I'm not talking about any of that. Those patterns are alive, well, they work, but they're basic. What I'm talking about is this connection point of vibrations where all the numbers come together, right? Can I share my screen?
Yeah.
So we take a look at
what's this like cryptic like name instead of it saying Bartelloni? Like you see how mine says JC Peretz like so clean?
I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea.
Is this like some secret? Like, are you like working with the Russians to like hack into the Zoom call? Like, what's going on there?
I have no idea. I just saw that too. It's what it logged me in as. So how do I share my screen here? Share screen.
So that X9EEEZT, that's not sacred geometry?
Random. Hey,
because your sacred geometry and that mean the same to me.
Well, dude, come on. You've got to take this seriously.
I'm taking it so seriously, Bart. Can you see it in my face? Look how seriously I'm taking this.
Boo. This is so much fun, dude. You bail when you got to bail. How's the wife, man? What do you guys do?
Couple more weeks.
Oh, it's awesome, dude. It's such a great run, JC. It really
She's out
is.
in the pool. I'm like, listen, me and Bartelloni, we're going to have a Zoom. She's like, tell Bart I said hi.
Love it.
She's like, that guy is crazy. I don't know what he's ever talking about. Because remember we had that lunch? Remember we went to that bar in San Diego?
Yeah.
She's like, afterwards, she's like, I don't know what that guy was talking about, JC.
What?
I'm like, don't worry about it, babe. I didn't understand what the hell he was talking about either.
Maybe it'll get better. So first thing we're going to do here is we're going to share that screen. All right. Can you see it?
I can.
Okay. So this is Twilio, right?
Yeah.
And so the first thing, I mean, there's so many different ways. So when that person, now I still got to figure out like 256. I don't think it was necessarily the number. It was the square root, right? So first off, if everything is vibration, which it is, right, then the study of music and the mathematical properties that govern music, right, will be applicable to vibration and understanding how to find these patterns. So all music is two things, right? It's the square root of the length of the string, right, that you're plucking, right? That gives you the frequency. Or 1 over the square root of the tension, how tight that is. So those two mathematical properties govern everything to do with music in both the equal octave scale of music and the Pythagorean scale, okay? So the square root of 256 equals 16 is the best. I think it's the square root nature of it. So the reason I'm starting here, right, is the GAN square of 9, it's actually a It's actually a calculator, right? And it's
So what? It's a tucket?
Calculator.
Calculator. Okay, so tell me how.
All right, and that calculator actually aligns almost directly with the law of vibration and the matrices that I was showing you. Okay, and so it's a helix creator. Can you see my mouse or no?
Yeah.
Okay, and so everyone's kind of used to saying, okay, the odd squares go up this length, and the even even squares go up here, and the odd squares go up here. That's important, everything, right? But to take one loop around the Gantt square of 9, you take the square root.
Where does 9 come from? Why 9?
Because 10 is the only numbers that exist are 1 through 9. Everything's an offshoot of them.
Got it.
And so as you see this, great question, as you see this first inner square, see, it's only 9.
Got it.
So if I take the square root of 9, it's 3, and I add 2, and I re-square it, I get 25. If I take the square root of 25, it's 5, I add 2, and I re-square it, I get 49. See where I'm going with it?
Yeah.
Okay. So to do one full circle around the Gantt square of 9, it's the square root, music, right? Music, plus 2. Now, just like we do extensions, 1.27 extensions, 1.618 extensions, all these different things, you can also take the square root of the number and add 1.618 and then re-square it. You follow where I'm going with it?
Lost you.
Okay. When you do a 1.618 price projection,
does it frustrate you? Does it frustrate you teaching mere mortals?
No, you're not
like, come on, JC, try to keep up.
No, not at all. Not one bit. And where I'm going with it is these 45, 90, 135, 180, 215, 270, 315, 360. These are harmonic breakpoints based on music.
Which are the green ones? Why are some green?
Because that's these numbers right here.
Those are highs and lows.
Highs and lows. Yeah.
Okay, so then once you paint them green, then what?
No, once you paint them green, you can figure out what the cycle is, what it vibrates to, right? And so the big thing is these are calendar days, because the way we look at it in the law of vibration, your time on the horizontal and your price on the vertical, time and price are the same thing. And pivots occur when there's equality in time and price. And so what you could do is you line up the Gantt square of 9 targets with timing or a pattern. It's market magic, right? So I just wanted to show. So if you can see these are Twilio daily from the IPO.
Click on the chart. Click on the chart. There you go.
So this is Twilio daily, right, from the IPO. Follow me?
Yeah.
And in days, here's pretty much every pivot. You had a gap, okay? Did not work, but it gapped, 856. You follow me? When you note Jupiter, Mercury, 90, you're looking for different aspects of different planets.
Hold on a second. So what does, okay, fine. So I get this whole matrix with the square root of 9s and all that stuff, the circle around. Okay, fine. I get it. We're looking for cycles. That I can understand. Now, what does Jupiter and Mercury have to do with Twilio?
Okay. Take a step back. Now's the time. Take a nice swig of wine. Take a nice swig of wine. This is going to blow you away. Okay. And I'll take a swig of mine.
What are you drinking?
A little tequila. Nice little silver tequila.
Oh, boy.
So every single squiggle that you see on this chart or any of the charts is based on planetary movements. That's it. And so if you think about it, when we used to listen to the AM radio and we tune to a certain frequency, right? And sometimes if there's a lightning storm or something like that, you hear the crackle, right? That's actual electrical energy that's interfering with the radio signal. So these big, huge planets that are up in the sky, they affect us because of the radiation coming from the sun, and they implant different energies upon us. Okay, that's why the IPO date is so key, right? Because that's the birth of the stock. You following me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so from that birth date, that price, that date, you are now, rock is hitting the water, right? And the waves ripple out, okay? That's why this is so important, okay? And so what you look for on these IPO dates are certain aspects, like Jupiter and Mercury are 90 degrees geo on the IPO.
What is geo?
So there's geocentric and there's heliocentric. Before Copernicus, we thought the world was the center of the universe, right? And everything revolved around the Earth. We know that's not the case now, but geocentric is Earth-centered. So it's like you looking at the sun.
Got it. Understood.
Jupiter. Okay.
Yeah.
Heliocentric is sun-centered. So in a heliocentric world, there are no what are called retrograde movements, right? When you see something kind of go like that, that's retrograde. And it's just because of where you are and how things are going around the sun. Okay, heliocentric, it's really a great way to work with stuff, right? So all I was trying to do, right, is look at what was really present, kind of sticks out at you. Every angle is important. Every angle is important at certain times. Actually, every day, every angle is important. But the really hard aspects, the 90 degrees, the 180 degrees, the 0 degrees are on top of each other. Those are the things you look for. Those cause the most type of energy, okay? And so Jupiter and Mercury are 90 degrees geocentric on the IPO. Well, see, I've got my little things here. Well, they're also up here at about 136-ish, right? The same aspects that were present at the IPO were present at the time I'm going to show you, right? And this is when you fold in like little Elliott wave stuff, right? I understand Elliott wave. I consider myself pretty good at it, but it's like my 10th thing I use. I love it during corrections, right? We talked about that, right? But I don't rely on it. But as I start coming up with targets, I start looking, I'm like, okay, is there a count that makes sense? So you can easily see that this is a 1, 2, 3, or sorry, 1 up, 2 down. This whole thing's a big, huge third wave. So you're now starting to come into time and price convergence around 136-ish, right? And so it's like, okay, I was still very bullish on Twilio, but it's like, I don't want to enter now because I'm going to get my teeth kicked in. So I'm trying to find a good area.
So this is early 2019.
Yeah, you can actually see right here. It's 3/17/19, I think.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So there it is. Right now I'm coming up with price targets. So you see this low is 23.
Uh-huh.
And you can't see my mouse, right, JC?
No, you're good. You're good. You fixed it.
Okay. So I put 23 in the center. Follow me? And then now, because 23 is where the campaign begins. Now, here's something that'll blow your mind away. I could take like the geocentric spot of the sun on that low, like 256 degrees, and put 256 in there and look for things. This calculator, you have to learn it. It's amazing, right? But I'm using it basic stuff because people won't know what I'm doing anyway, right? So here's 23. And then as you can see here, every single high and low is falling right along this axis. That's when you know you have a good point, a good node. So you can see 43, boom, 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 gapped above it. 65 right here, stopped it, gapped above it, came down and tagged it. 95 caused some resistance. 133, we're kind of getting in that zone, you see? Okay. Now, it could be 143, or I'm sorry, 143, 144, 149. You see, you just keep going along the square. Okay. So now I have both price and time targets. Yeah, good?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So then we're really going to start getting into the nitty gritty. All right.
So we haven't even started getting into the nitty gritty yet?
No. So what I'm trying to tell you is, and you have a business decision to make. It's the first time I ever kind of came with you with like a business decision or something. But what I want to try to tell you is when I come up with a level, it's like 10 different things that I'm trying to work into it, right? So yeah, we're just starting to get to the nitty gritty. So we're right now, all this stuff that's happening, I think we talked about it once when we had drinks or something. We're on the precipice of this age of Aquarius. And we've transitioned from the age of Pisces. The Pisces was all about the bladder of the fish, which is called the Vescus Pisces. That's why Jesus was a fisher of men, everything like that. But the key with the Vescus Pisces, JC, is that symbol, right? It governs all the ratios for sacred geometry. So this right here, see the blue arrow?
Yeah.
This is the initial move up. This is the rock hitting the water. The ratio of that high and low can govern planetary movements, can govern fundamental frequencies. There's so much information you can get out of that because that is the first move from the low that causes a big correction. And that is the big, huge Twilio rock that weighs 5 pounds. I'm making this shit up, right? Weighs 5 pounds. I dropped it from 20 feet. It hit the water and woof. Now all these waves of energy are going out. So that's this first guy right here, shunk, right? And what you do is you draw a circle from it. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Then I copy paste it. See? And now I draw the vectors for the square root of 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yellow, green, purple, and this blue accordingly. I move them into price and into time. In this case, all I'm doing is I'm taking them, right, defining them, and I'm going to move them into price targets. See
Well,
that?
why do the purple one and the yellow one not start at the IPO like the blue one? And the green one?
Because of this. Good question. I will tell you everything. I have nothing to hide. Can you see my screen?
I can.
Come on. This is fun, isn't it, dude? Mind-blowing.
People at home are like, yo, JC, what the hell is this guy talking about?
So you see these two circles?
Uh-huh.
That's what I've drawn here. Sorry. See?
Okay, got it.
And the radius of and circumference of this circle, these two circles. See how you're building it?
Yeah.
And see how you get square root of 2, square root of 3, square root of 5.
Got it. Understood.
And see how it's used throughout all of the ancients, Egypt, Greece, Asians, right? They used it. It's everywhere, right? That's what I'm doing right. Sorry. That's what I'm doing right here.
Okay.
So that's why.
What about the lines on the right?
The lines on the right are these lines over here on the left, measured, okay, to my fingers. I'm measuring like the green, and I roll over, and all I'm doing is I'm rotating that to the vertical so I can do price projections.
Okay.
100%, no idea what Twilio even does.
I don't either.
Right? Don't know their P&L, their gross profit, their GAAP accounting, their EBITDA. I have no idea. These targets are defined by these vectors, period. Okay? And so as you can see, I'm now rotating them up. But if we take this all-time low here at 23 and we rotate the purple up, guess what? It comes right into our target area. See that?
Okay. And then you want to fast forward what happened?
Yeah, I'm going there, right?
I smell a victory lap coming.
Oh, no, dude. Sometimes it's all just trying to manage risk, right? So basically all I was saying was, hey, so you asked a question of where I got the vectors. Someone else did. So I wanted to show the whole picture. See, there's the vector.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the vectors that I had to create from it. And they're way down here at minus $30.
And what charting software draws all these circles and stuff?
I do it manually via eSignal.
Okay.
I'll show you here in a second, right? So anyway, there it is, right? So then you come up, and so we're looking at like 136, 138. So it actually ended up going to about $1.49, $1.50. I'm okay with that, right? I knew I was looking for an exit, right? So I got out.
So you're not looking for a short, you're just looking to take profits?
I was bullish, yeah. Yeah.
So you're just taking profits, thinking that you get back in the future?
Well, here's where I got back in. So here was the target zone, right? Now, if we go back, so it basically went up to about $1.49 or so, right? If we go back one more, JC. Look at that, 149. This was the vibration.
Okay, and not 179 or 133.
Not 133, 138. Yeah, I had a cluster of targets through, and it could be slippage, it could be a number of things. It was like, you know what, this is the target zone, so take some profit, right?
Yeah.
So then we go and we're like, okay, now how do we get back into this thing, right? So this was the pattern that we came up with, and if you look, it had a 30% correction to go when I posted this, right? Patterns complete. We had all these numbers coming in. And oh, by the way, that's almost 30% lower. Personally, I'm like, it's never going to get there. This one is a write-off. I'm done. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
Buy. And so, but as you look, it came right down and snagged it. And we were calling that number out up here. That's the crazy.
30% lower.
Right? That was the buy. And I actually got in. I exited. Why? Because this move, this 2 to 3 move, is exactly equal 4 to 5 up here. It's too early, right? It's up at $230, but I managed the risk. I performed a good entry, right? And I got out of the logical stopping point. Sorry. So as you start looking at, like here's one I'm really watching, right? No, sorry, it's XLK, XLP.
I love that ratio. So do I.
Dude, it's so powerful.
I know. Yeah.
The Staples ratio across multiple things is just like, this is so powerful. New share, eSignal, share. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was just Twilio, right? And that was all based on sacred geometry musical. So NASDAQ's taken off like crazy, right? Technology's on a roll, right? And so I want to see when they rotate, the drill, right? I want to see when they right? And so, I mean, look at this breakout. It's huge, right? But it's kind of like, I think it's just a little bit higher, and then we're going to have a turn down, right? Does that mean the bull trend's over? Fuck no. But people who buy now, fear of missing out and everything like that, they could get their teeth kicked in if they lose 5 or 10% or maybe even more, which in the context of it's really not that big of a deal as we continue higher, right? And so I wanted to show you this. And so when I went back to the square 9, I remember I did the 45 times 8 is 360 degrees. So every 45 degrees is a break point. Well, what you can do is you can break. This is a technique that I know you'll love. You need to just go back and do it after a couple glasses of wine. But you can take that initial seed candle and divide it by 8 and price project that way. And so here's what I've done. You see this candle right here?
Yeah.
Okay. See how this is the candle that made the low, and then this candle exploded higher. See that?
Okay.
That's your seed. That's your DNA for this move. And so all I did, see that right there, is I take this initial candle and I divide it by 8. So I take my tool. Come on. Does that make sense? You follow me so far?
Sure.
I take my little tool here, okay, and I'm just going to run it up here for now. I go and I make it 0.875. That's good. Don Julio.
Why 875?
7/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 8/8 equals 1.
Why eighths?
Because 45 times 8, every 45 degrees is a break point. So eighths are a huge deal within music.
I see.
Okay? Yeah. So all I'm trying to do, see how I brought the 0.875 down to this?
Uh-huh.
See how I defined it? And then see how this is the top of the range right here?
Yeah.
And that runs right smack dab into multiple basic Fibonacci crap, retracement levels. I'm like, huh, interesting, right? So now I want to do some projections, right? So I take that initial low. There's the definition, right? Cruise down to the low, project, bam. There's 2.618 and there's 2.71828, which is actually the natural log. You might want to write that one down.
What's the natural log?
The natural logarithm is 2.71828. And that's in the Great Pyramids too, by the way. So a lot of times when you see 2.618, price projections or extensions get knocked down and it goes a little bit higher, it's going to the natural log, 2.71828.
If you say so, Bart. Listen, yeah, seriously, bro. You know, I always like having these conversations because you expand my mind, right? But usually I come out of this wondering why I even got in this conversation in the first place. But I think the folks at home, listen, I'm more confused than ever. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Are you? Okay, so where'd you get confused?
I mean, listen, Bart, like, it's hard for me to wrap my head around all these concepts that we're buying stocks. You're looking at Mercury and then Venus and the sun and then
all they are
how
is
many moons? There's planets with moons, you know. What about Pluto? Is Pluto officially a moon or is it back to being a planet? What do they do with Pluto?
It doesn't matter. We really don't spend much time on it because back in the day there was really only 7 visible planets that the ancients work with. And that's where the 7 days of the week come from.
Oh.
Monday is moon day. Sunday is sun. Saturday is Saturn.
There you go, Bartellones. All right.
So we can do basic projections, right? And those work, and they're very powerful. Like you can see, am I still sharing my screen?
No, I gotta go. I got a phone. I gotta run. I got a meeting. Yeah, you go smoke some weed. Do whatever you guys do in California. I mean, listen, whatever you're doing, Bart, clearly it's working. So just keep doing what you gotta do, man. You know, go smoke some herb. Go surfing.
Hey, you got 5 minutes. What chart do you want me to look at? Watch this. Look at Tesla. Give me some sharing real quick. Okay.
Let's see.
Can I share? Take 2 seconds. Share screen. Disabled me again, bro. Hey, you see my shirt?
Man, the myth, the legend. Hilarious. Bartelloni.
Hey, you want to see this?
I was telling Straza, I was like, hey, you came up in conversation. I'm like, yeah, if you want to have a conversation with anybody after eating mushrooms, it's Bartelloni. And then Straza's like, if I talk to anybody after eating mushrooms, the last person I want to talk to is Bartelloni.
Hey, I want to show you something.
Yeah,
Let me show you real quick. Can I share?
Yeah.
There we go. So this is the basics, right?
Tesla.
You got this nice long base. So we're going to start here. Whoa. Basic stuff. Now, this whole move I'm showing you, that's a planet or a combination of planets. Period. Okay?
What do you mean a combination of planets?
Well, like 2 planets, Jupiter, Mercury, whatever. Okay?
Why are they 2 planets? I don't understand that part.
Because when you have defined measured moves like that, if you can figure out which 2 planets are working together to give you that move, then you look for that same position in the zodiac, and that same move should occur again. But the planets are leaving footprints everywhere. That's why measured moves work. All right? So we take this, and now I'm going to the all-time low. Okay? And I'm just saying, Tesla's got some resistance coming up.
Where?
And I bet it's about 1300.
Okay.
And that's just the start, right? I'm just looking at it. I'm going, okay, here's my all-time low. Here's a first big reaction high. Here's the low, right? Copy, paste, bam. Just starting out, I think it's got another, what, $100? Is that right?
Yeah.
And then there's major resistance, right? And when I'm saying major, this is from the IPO to the first high. You following me, right? And so I'm not saying the bull trend's over. I'm not saying that at all. It's got another 7%, let's say, right? But just doing basic beginning projection techniques, right? I'm coming up with a high probability area of resistance, right? And that's just doing the basic stuff. Now I'll go to the IPO. I'll start working some square 9 stuff. You see where I'm going with it?
Yeah.
And you'll just find that you start getting, look, so it stopped on the square root of 2 extension. See that? 1.412, this extension. Does that make sense or no?
Yeah.
Okay. But to finish the entire projection, that should kind of wants to go up here, doesn't it? Look at the size of this fucking candle. But now you've got this 1.618 extension. You've got the ABCD, and so within about as an institution person, you don't give a shit. So within about a 2.5% window, we could have an end here. So now we take this all-time low here. We kind of come up here. You got to go. I just want to show you Tesla, and I'll work it up. But ultimately, hold on. Boom. This is just basic price projection stuff. So that looks like what? 2.618 maybe? 2.618. Oh, no. How about 3.142? 3.142. Boom. Look at that. I'm telling you, dude. Let's watch it. This 1350-ish.
Why 3.142?
Because I'm using, great question. I'm using ratios. I'm using numbers that are harmonic to all of sacred geometry. Natural logarithm, 3.142, square root numbers, musical numbers. Like a lot of times the 1.618 extension fails, goes a little bit higher, and then it works. It's usually 1.68179, which is the musical note F. So you've got to put this puzzle piece together, right? I want to get a huge conglomeration.
Bartellones, I got to hop, man.
Hey, I love it, Jason.
For the folks listening that are interested,
are people listening?
There's like 3 people that care. No, maybe I don't know. Listen, I get email. Listen, when I put out Bartelloni stuff, I get some people that are like, "Yo, this guy is loony," and then other people are like, "Yo, JC, that was awesome." So whatever. It is what it is. I like it. I like hearing about it. But everybody listening, go to bartscharts.com. And Bart, you're going to put that Tesla? You're going to finish up those annotations?
I will post it this weekend.
All right, Bartellones. Listen, buddy, take care of that knee. Have yourself a good weekend. I got to get back to work.
Hey, JC, I love it. Anytime, brother.
Peace.
Smoke weed every day.